Hey, why don't you become my boyfriend?
This nationally famous actress asked me to become her boyfriend, but... Sorry, I can't. As usual, I rejected her. Of course, I know that she's just joking around. Until one day...
Wait, I can't open the door!
Aw? Long story short, we were locked up into a hotel room together. Everything started 3 months ago. Oh, Kanon Yuki's latest movie is out! I, Hidetoshi Okayasu, am in my final year of college. On that day, I was tired of all the job hunting and decided to rent out a romance DVD. Oh, a lady was reaching for the same one as me, and our hands touched each other. But more than that, I was surprised by who that lady was, because she happened to be a famous actress that had starred in so many movies and TV shows. Are you... Nagisa Akitsuki-san?
Shh, you're too loud!
Oh, sorry.
Huh? Is Nagisa-chan here?
Oh no, I let everyone know.
Come with me.
Wait, I wasn't able to rent out anything because she pulled me out of the store.
Phew, oh boy. People were about to find me.
Whoa, it's actually the real Nagisa Akitsuki.
Are you listening?
Oh, yes, I'm listening. I'm sorry for what happened.
I forgive you, but don't be so loud whenever you come across an actress ever again, alright?
Yes. It's pretty unlikely that will ever happen again. Anyway, why did she bring me along to escape?
So, could you please tell me your name?
I'm Hidetoshi Okayasu. You can call me Hide.
I'll call you Hide-kun. And you can call me Nagisa. It's actually my real name. By the way, do you like movies, Hide-kun?
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of Kanon Yuki. I've been following her ever since she made her debut. She's such a strong girl, but you just want to protect her at all costs.
Exactly! And her silver hair is so cute too!
We started to talk about our favorite actress, and we were having a good time. I never knew that actresses rent DVDs too. Don't you watch movies on the internet? I mean, there's no way you'll be seen by a fan that way.
Of course. The internet is handier, but I like to take a look at all of the options in the rental stores. You know that feeling when you can't really choose what you want to watch?
I understand that. I also like to go to the bookstore to choose which books I'm going to read.
Hide-kun, you definitely have great taste!
And we started talking about ourselves, but how did this happen?
Wow, this is your room, huh? It's the first time I've ever been in a guy's room.
Sorry, it's kind of messy in here. All I told her was that I had a Kanon movie that I would like to recommend, and now she was in my room. But is it okay for her to come into a room belonging to a normal guy like me?
What? Are you thinking about lewd stuff?
No way. I just didn't want to ruin your reputation.
Just kidding. Well, the movie star Nagisa Akitsuki may be like that, but I actually am a person with a lot of curiosities. Not to mention, anything I experience makes me a better actress. So thanks for bringing me here, Hide-kun.
Not at all.
And now, I'm curious about you, Hide-kun. If not, I wouldn't have brought you out of that store, nor would I have come to your place.
Well, stop teasing me. She's acting different from the way she acts in front of the camera. Is this her true self? We watched a romance movie together. When we came to the emotional scene, closer to the end... As expected for an actress, she must be a highly empathic person.
Wow, that was my first time watching it! It was a lovely movie!
Her debut movie isn't widely known.
Now she's an internationally known actress. I have to put in more work too.
Good luck with that.
I would like to fall in love like that.
Can you be having a boyfriend at this point of your career?
Of course I can. I have the right to do so.
Well, that is true.
Hey, Hide-kun, you don't have a girlfriend at the moment, right? So why don't you just date me?
Huh? Isn't that a little sudden?
But 1 million people will become your enemy.
That's...
Just kidding. You don't have to look so confused.
Sorry. Now that's a relief, but at the same time, I feel a little sad. Nagisa-san was hanging around for about an hour until...
I'm kind of sleepy.
Huh? Akitsuki-san?
Let me take a rest for a little while. I have a lot of work today.
Nagisa-san? Wow, she's actually fallen asleep. She looks so vulnerable. But I want to get her some rest. Even though she's a famous actress, she's probably just a normal girl. No, wait a minute. Do normal girls come to guys' places on the day they meet? Nagisa-san was fast asleep for a while. Later that night, my doorbell was going off crazy. Yes, who are...
Is Nagisa Akitsuki here?
Yes, she is, but who are you?
I'm Yoko Akitsuki, Nagisa's sister and also her manager.
Nagisa! Time to get up! Yoko, why are you here? I tracked your cell phone location. I was worried because you weren't back on time. Stop curling up like that. Get up! No, I want to stay here for a few more minutes. You're causing trouble for this gentleman here. And we have plans to go to dinner with the movie director.
Although Nagisa-san wanted to stay around for a little while longer, Yoko-san forced her to leave.
I'm really sorry for causing you trouble. Please keep your mouth shut about what happened today.
I'm definitely not accepting that envelope. That's too scary. We decided on signing an NDA, but nobody would have believed me anyway, even if I told them.
Bye, Hide-kun. Let's hang out again. Nagisa, hurry up! Stop pulling me, sis.
She left like a hurricane. Oh, I still can't believe she was in my room and that we watched a movie together. She told me we were going to hang out again, but I'm never going to see her ever again. I could still feel her warmth on my bed. That made me even more emotional. 1 week later...
I'm here.
Huh? You came again?
Let me in.
Nagisa-san came to my place without any notice. I can't. Your sister will be worried about you, and don't forget, you're a famous actress.
If I keep standing here, the paparazzi are going to come around in no time, so let me in, quick!
I ended up letting her in. Since then, Nagisa-san came to my place every now and then. All we did was watch DVDs and chill together. I really couldn't understand her intentions. She's starting to come here a lot more often. That means there's a bigger risk of someone finding out. I wonder if she's not worried about that. Nagisa-san, why do you come to see me?
I feel relaxed when I'm around you, Hide-kun. You don't do anything lewd to me. I feel at ease.
Well, I'm scared to make any mistakes because your sister would be furious.
So, there's no big reason. I mean it.
I know. Nagisa-san continued to come to my place whenever she had time. But there was one thing on my mind.
Hey, why don't you be my boyfriend? I think we would be a good match.
Sorry, I can't go against your 1 million fans.
Uh-huh. You rejected me again.
I knew she was just joking, but I always felt my heart start beating faster when she joked around like that. But that's the suspension bridge effect. Eventually, I was drawn to Nagisa-san. Rather, I eventually realized my true feelings towards her. Whenever we couldn't meet, we would stay in contact through our phones. One day, due to my carelessness, a friend from college saw me messaging her. Whoa, you're messaging a troll? How does this guy think he can fool people by calling himself Nagisa Akitsuki? Huh? Oh, yeah. You should get a real girlfriend instead of talking to trolls on the internet. And before you do that, you should find a job for when you graduate. Whew, of course nobody would believe that I'm in contact with a famous actress. Girlfriend, job hunting, I knew I was a failure. What my friend told me was true. I still haven't found out what to do after I graduate, and all of my friends have secure futures. I couldn't complete anything. A few days after that happened, Nagisa Akitsuki was seen with her boyfriend. Nagisa was all over the media.
Her partner appears to be Kenta Kuzuyama, an actor who is 5 years older than her. They have been seen staying at the same hotel room.
No, the partner wasn't me. Of course, it would have been weird for me to contact her about this because I wasn't her boyfriend. She didn't contact me either. It was known that she never had a boyfriend before, so she was all over the news for a pretty long time. 1 week later, when I was coming home from college, Yoko-san was standing by the gate with a grave look on her face.
Okayasu-kun, I have something to talk about. Could you come with me?
Oh, okay. She brought me to a rundown hotel. I thought we were going to have a conversation in the lobby, but she brought me to a room.
Could you hand me your cell phone, just in case?
Huh? Alright, but what is it that you want to talk about?
I'm not the one who wants to talk to you. You'll find out in that room.
Huh? Nagisa-san?
Hide-kun?
I was kind of anticipating she would be here, but she seemed like she didn't know that I was coming.
Why are you here?
Your sister brought me here.
Do you want to take a seat?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see me on the news?
Yes, they were making a huge deal out of your relationship.
My sister told me to stay here until the situation calms down. I've already been in here for 3 days.
Well, you were talking about a boyfriend, so I guess I should congratulate you.
No! That was all a scam! A lie!
Huh? What do you mean?
It was all just a part of his plan to get more media exposure. On that day, we happened to be staying at the same hotel. By pure coincidence, we were leaving at the same time in the morning. When I went over to greet him, I was surrounded by paparazzi. That's when he pulled me closer and told them to stop taking pictures. It instantly went viral, and now all of my fans have disappeared.
So, it was all a publicity stunt. He isn't a well-known actor. He must have tipped off the paparazzi himself.
I know you won't believe me, but...
Of course I believe you. I remember this Kazuyama guy from dating another idol. I know you aren't the type to fall for him. Even if 1 million fans were to turn on me, I'm always going to be on your side. Let's come up with a plan for what you're going to do now.
Hide-kun, yes. I'm sorry. Thank you.
When everything's over, we can watch movies together. Oh, but maybe the paparazzi are going to come for you again.
Even if that happens, I wouldn't mind if it was you, Hide-kun.
After that, Nagisa-san and I came up with a plan together. That's my plan. What do you think?
If you're okay with that, Hide-kun.
Let's go tell Yoko-san about it. Once we tried to leave the hotel room.
Wait! I can't open the door!
Huh?
Are we locked in? Oh no! I can't even call the front desk on my phone!
I handed my cell phone to Yoko-san.
Oh no, this too!
Why were we locked in though? Could this be all because of Yoko-san? A few hours passed without anyone coming to search for us.
I think I have to go take a shower.
Huh? Yeah, go for it.
No peeking.
Okay.
I mean it!
Is she asking me to come in with her?
I'm just taking off my clothes here. Don't come in!
I get it. Just go in.
I'm still taking off my top.
You don't have to explain everything. Nagisa-san went into the bath, but the hotel walls were so thin, I couldn't relax at all.
I'm out. Your turn.
Huh? Me too?
Don't you think you should go in before going to bed?
Maybe. I came out of the shower to see Nagisa-san hiding her face in the blankets. I'm out.
Okay, let's go to bed then.
Shouldn't we wait for someone to come and help us?
I don't think anyone is coming until the morning.
And so, now we were in bed together. Nagisa-san, isn't this a little problematic?
We're just sleeping in the same bed.
Just? You're using my arm as a pillow.
But when you do this, I feel at ease. Do you not like it?
Not that I don't like it. You always take the initiative, don't you?
I love you, Hide-kun.
Love?
Hide-kun, can I continue to be by your side from now on?
Continue? You mean just as a friend?
No, as a partner.
I hope you aren't joking like you usually do.
No, I'm serious. In fact, I was always just laughing it off because I was embarrassed.
Well, I don't think the media is going to like it, but I don't mind getting bashed by them, if I'm with you.
Really? So, is that an okay?
Yes. Please, have me as your boyfriend.
I'm so happy. I love you, Hide-kun.
She must have felt relaxed. She fell asleep pretty quickly. Now, I need to do something about this situation. We can't be locked in here forever without anyone finding us. Wait, it's open?
Oh? Are you going somewhere?
Huh? You didn't lock us in? Yoko-san was sitting in front of the room. She was watching over us.
I don't even have the keys. Nagisa must have tricked you.
Wow, her acting was great.
Don't be mad at her. This is how much she wanted to be with you.
By the way, Yoko-san, why did you bring me here in the first place?
Well, I felt bad for Nagisa. She kept crying, saying she wanted to see you. After all, I'm her sister before her manager. She was really shocked with all of the news about her.
Oh, I can't blame her. All of the fans that she accumulated over the years, they disappeared.
Oh no, what a dull person you are. She was shocked because she thought you might have lost interest in her.
Huh?
She really liked you. Did you not realize?
No, I always told myself that it's impossible. And sorry to let you know now, but we decided to start a proper relationship.
Are you okay dealing with the media? She's already in a lot of trouble.
I just want to support her.
I'm happy to hear that.
I don't know how I can help her out, but I came up with a plan. Here's how it goes. Yoko-san was considering Nagisa-san's retirement, but once I told her our plans, she agreed to go with it. The next morning, when we came out of the hotel, we were surrounded by cameras.
Akitsuki-san, what's going on?
He's not in the industry, is he?
What happened to your relationship with Kusuyama-san?
What's going on? I'm just hanging out with my boyfriend.
Huh?
Everything that was on the news about me and Kuzuyama-san was a lie.
Actually, I had written everything down about Nagisa-san visiting me in my diary. All of the dates and the events written down in my diary and our phone history served as an alibi. It was revealed that Kuzuyama was using her to get more attention, and he got cancelled. On the other hand, Nagisa-san held a press conference confidently talking about our relationship, which was very well received. Our plan worked out perfectly, but we were lucky that it worked out so smooth. I got scared whenever I imagined the plan going wrong. 1 year has gone by. But you didn't have to retire from your acting career just because of all the media attention you got.
No, I don't care about being loved by a million people as long as I've got you, Hida-kun.
Nagisa quit being an actress, and I had graduated college. Well, it's about time. Let's start today's stream.
What are we going to do today? It seems like Yoko knows, but you still haven't told me.
It's going to be a surprise. Nowadays, we live and work together as couple YouTubers. This turned out to be a big success, and now we have 1 million subscribers. Yoko-san also quit her company, and she started her own agency. She is our manager right now. Anyways, I'm really nervous, because I have an important announcement to make on the stream today. So, today, we have something important to tell all of you.
I know this isn't going to be important at all.
5 seconds from now, I'm interested in how Nagisa and our 1 million viewers are going to react to this surprise.
Chan. Oni-chan.
Huh?
Wake up, Oni-chan.
Everything seemed blurry, and I heard a cute voice coming from somewhere. I, Fuyuki Kaito, opened my eyes to the voice. I'm so sleepy.
Are you awake?
Huh? Morning, Natsu.
If you're not going to wake up, I might kiss you. Stay still.
Hold on! I'm awake! You're doing it on purpose, aren't you, Natsumi?
Hey! You're supposed to pretend that you're sleeping.
Why?
You have to accept my kiss if you are in love with your sister.
Can you stop making things up?
But we promised to get married when we were older.
I said, can you not make things up? You say it every day, but I never promised anything.
I could tell people about it.
Don't you dare! Because I spoiled her from a young age, Natsumi has a strong attachment to me and is obsessed over me. She comes and sleeps with me and gets moody if I don't have dinner with her.
Open up.
She's gonna be in high school soon, and she'll try to seduce me. I can't leave her like this.
What's the matter, Fuyuki? Sighing like that?
Hanasaki? What are you doing here? She's Haruka Hanasaki. We're in the same class this year, and she often teases me. She's a little bit of a celebrity at school.
Huh? I just came over because I wanted to chat with you. But then you were sighing, so I was wondering what happened.
Right, I see.
Don't be so shy, you cutie.
Don't tease me.
Sorry, and what happened? You seemed worried about something, but...
Oh, well,
Is it something you can't say? Is it a girl?
Well, I guess it does involve a girl.
Huh.
Why did she just become a little moody? What's the matter?
Nothing. I was just surprised because you look like the careful type. I didn't think you already had a girl.
Have a girl? It's about my sister, so it's not like that.
Sister? Are you talking about your sister that you told me about who is in junior high?
Yeah.
Huh, I see. I don't care, but...
Right. Her response was bigger than what I expected, but I better not talk about that.
Yeah, it's none of my business what kind of girls you interact with.
I guess.
Ugh.
Did she get moody again? What's the matter?
Nothing, anyways. What are you worried about? With your sister?
Hanasaki? Something soft is pressing against my back.
Come on, say it! Did your sister get mad for peeking while she was in the shower? How lewd!
I didn't do that! What kind of person do you think I am?
Really? But I know you are quite the pervert, so...
I'm not! She smells really sweet, and her skin is so soft. Girls are wonderful.
Fuyuki acts like he's troubled, but he doesn't try to get out of this position. It's so obvious from his face that he is enjoying it. That does make me happy, and if he likes it, that's even better. Those two are doing it again.
They look so friendly. It's so peaceful.
She doesn't like talking to other guys, but hugs Kaito like that.
That just means that they are...
Then, what is it?
I'm having trouble because my sister loves me too much.
Excuse me?
She's obsessed with me. She recently gets weird ideas and tries to sleep with me and tries to shower with me. She even tried to kiss me when I woke up.
Are you trying to brag?
Why would you think that?
You are troubled because your sister loves you too much? You should apologize to every single male in this country.
Why should I?
A guy who showers with her sister and kisses her deserves to be beaten up by every single man.
It's all an attempt. It hasn't happened.
Let's go to the police.
Would you listen to me?
I am listening to you brag about your sister.
Stop! Please don't keep your distance like that. I really haven't done anything you are thinking of.
Well, I kind of get your situation.
I'm so glad you understand.
Of course.
What a relief. If she understands, she didn't have to be like that. She sometimes gets like this when I'm talking to other girls. I think it's her thing. She probably just thinks too much. So yeah, I'm a little troubled at the moment.
So you want me to pretend to be your girlfriend?
What?
You want your sister to stop the love attacks, right?
Well, yeah. Love attacks? Is that what they're called?
But your sister might get hurt if you directly say it to her. So you can't say it because you are too kind.
I don't know if it's because I'm kind, but yeah, that's right.
So you need to have a fake girlfriend, am I right?
Yeah! No! How do you come to that conclusion? That was close. I almost agreed.
I almost got you there. You can think critically.
I don't feel like I'm being praised.
Putting that aside, I don't think there is any way around hurting her. Your sister is love attacking you because she loves you. If you turn her down, she is going to be hurt no matter how you do it.
I see. But why pretend to be my girlfriend?
If we can't avoid hurting her, do it so that she can recover quickly. I'm sure your sister knows that siblings can't get married.
I think so.
Then I think she is looking away from reality. She is still a child, so she is allowed to be like that. But deep down, I'm sure she understands that she can't get together with you.
I'm not sure. Natsumi is a childish girl, so I'm not sure she's aware of that.
Even if girls look childish, what they are thinking can be sometimes very mature. And besides, you might think she's childish because you are her brother. The fact that she tried to kiss you already makes her plenty grown up, don't you think? At this rate, his sister will do this and that to him. I must act quickly.
I see. But why would pretending to be my boyfriend make it easier for my sister to recover?
Because she can give up on you. Actually, that's a little different. She has a reason to convince herself to give up. If she has known deep down, then she might be hurt at the beginning. but I think she will be able to get over it and be able to move on.
People sometimes misunderstand her because of the way she speaks of her appearance, but she is a clever and kind person. I am often around her, and I've come to like her. Well, I wish the teasing could stop, though. I see. But are you alright with it? People might misunderstand if you pretend to be my girlfriend.
I don't mind if it's for you. We should help each other out, right? It would be better if people misunderstand. Convincing the others that we are dating seems like a solid plan anyways. And now, I have an excuse to hang out with Fuyuki!
Thanks. You are so kind, Hanasaki.
You're welcome. Thank you. I will definitely make you fall in love with me through this opportunity, Fuyuki.
So we started pretending to be boyfriend and girlfriend. We had no idea that this relationship would change everything. After school... What? You want to come to my house today?
Yeah, I thought we should make action as soon as possible. We must make action before things are too late.
Don't you think that's a little too much? I could just introduce you to Natsumi, my sister, somewhere else.
We need to show her that we are really close, that we even go to each other's houses. And we need to do something about the way you call me.
Huh?
You need to call me by my first name. We're dating. What? You don't want to?
No, it's just a little embarrassing.
Don't make such a cute face. You look like a cute girl.
Ouch! That hurts.
But you are cute, so it can't be helped.
I don't know how I should feel. Okay, I don't mind you coming to my house, but what should I call you?
Dare.
She has high expectations. So, like, Haruka-san?
Wrong.
What? No!
Obviously, just call me by my name.
But
You could call me Honey, you know.
I'll call you Haruka! I decided to call her by her name before she came up with any other bizarre ideas. No one calls their partners like that. To be honest, calling you just by your name is pretty hard for me.
I guess that's fine. Come on, let's go to your house.
Are you really coming?
Of course.
She nodded with a face that wrote, "I won't change my mind." I knew that there was no point trying to convince her. I had no choice but to go with it. But
Why did it have to rain today?
on our way home, it started raining and we got soaked. My house is just around the corner.
This is why I don't like summer.
Haruka looked like she was about to start crying when we got into my house. We were soaked, so it couldn't be.
Huh? What's wrong? How lewd.
Sorry.
Well, I don't mind, but
You don't?
you are a pervert, aren't you?
You'll catch a cold, so take a shower.
But it's your house, so you should go in first.
I'm a guy, so I'm fine. You shower first.
Oh, thanks. But what if your sister comes home?
Don't worry. She always has club activities. And she goes grocery shopping after that, so she won't be back for a while.
I see,
Huh? What's the matter?
I, can't shower by myself.
Oh, I see. Wait, what?
I said I can't shower on my own. Don't make me say it again.
What do you usually do?
I shower with my younger sister. I had a scary experience a while ago, and since then I can't shower by myself.
Right. But what should I do? I can't shower with you. To be honest, I would love to. But if I say that, I won't be able to have a quiet school life anymore.
If you could stay by my side, you could stay in the dressing room and talk to me.
Okay. It's a valid reason, so. We went to the dressing room. My heart was racing like it was going to explode. This was inevitable, but who would have thought that she would shower with my presence? I can kind of see through the half-transparent door.
Hey, Fuyuki.
What is it?
I'm usually too shy to say it, so I'll say it now, but thanks for being kind to me all this time.
What?
Maybe you don't remember, but you are the reason I'm going to school normally. This is when I was in junior high, but everyone was avoiding me because of my appearance. There were people who tried to bully me, so I think I was quite unfriendly when I got to high school. I think that some of the people in my class were scared of me. No one would talk to me when you just got in. apart from this one person. He came to me eating my lunch on the rooftop and asked me to eat together. I think I was very unfriendly to him at the beginning, but even then, he was still kind to me. That's why I'm able to open up to people and speak to people normally. And you, Fuyuki, are the boy.
I remember that. But that's Haruka's misunderstanding. I'd been bullied because of my appearance back then. I was extremely self-conscious, so I tried to avoid everyone. That's when I found Haruka. Her behavior was very similar to mine, so I had a feeling that she was the same as me. I was just selfishly thinking that she was my comrade. I thought Haruka would understand me, so that's why I got close to her. It's thanks to her that I'm able to talk to people normally. It's true that Haruka, at the time, was a little scary looking. But she had the strength to believe in what she thought was right. You would help anyone who was in need. Haruka was a strong and kind girl to me. And she complimented me on how I look after we got to know each other. She helped me regain my confidence. She sometimes even looked at what kind of clothes would suit me together. She taught me how to be confident in my appearance. The reason I didn't shut myself out was because she was there to listen to me. If she hadn't been there, I would still be the same self-conscious person being afraid of everyone else. I'm the one who has to thank you. If I hadn't met you, I would have had a lonely school life.
So you felt like that as well. Then would you...
Huh?
I'm home, Oni-chan.
Natsumi?
What?
Why are you home? What about your club activities?
My teacher was absent today, so it was cancelled. So I went grocery shopping and came home. I didn't think you would bring a girl home, Oni-chan. And you were going to shower together?
No, I wasn't trying to shower with her!
You are in the dressing room. And the thief. The woman in the bath. How do you explain this?
She clearly said thief, but she corrected it! In contrast to her smile, it was clear that she was angry.
It's okay, Oni-chan. You were just deceived by an evil woman, right? Don't worry. I'll kick her out.
Wait! She got soaking wet in the rain, so I let her use the shower! I'm here because she can't shower on her own!
Do you really think I'd believe an excuse like that? Lying is a sin, Oni-chan. Do I need to punish you, Oni-chan?
What kind of terrifying thing is my sister saying with such a cute face? What should I do? I can't just have Haruka come out because she's naked!
Oh, are you a sister? Sorry, I really can't shower on my own. Oh, really? But why are you here in the first place?
Natsumi started talking with a cute smile, but I felt that the words that came out of her mouth were sharp as knives.
Well, I'm Fuyuki's girlfriend.
I came over to hang out with him today. Sorry for the sudden visit. Oh, right. I see. Okay. I'll prepare something for you to wear, so give me a minute.
Thank you.
Not at all. Take your time. Now, Oni-chan.
What?
You will let me talk to your girlfriend, right? You can get changed so that you don't catch a cold as well. And then we can talk together in the living room. Of course, with the three of us.
That sunk in pretty quickly. But that was only for a moment. It seems like Natsumi was going to start an interrogation. Why did you give her these clothes?
My clothes wouldn't fit. Besides, I thought she would be happy wearing these.
Yeah, but I don't think I would wear something like this from the first day.
First day?
Oh, I mean my first time at Fuyuki's house.
Right, but still. I didn't know that Oni-chan had such a pretty girlfriend.
Don't! You're embarrassing me!
Well, it's pretty obvious that you guys aren't really dating. I'm always with Oni-chan at home, and he doesn't message anyone at home. If he has a girlfriend, that's hard to imagine.
Shit, I didn't consider him being surveyed by his sister. Oh, well, that's...
Are you going to say that you are the type that doesn't message that often? Or that you don't own a phone? I don't mind, but I sincerely hate liars. If I find out that you are lying, I will make sure you can't get close to my brother ever again. But are you okay with that?
Fuyuki, She is cute like a little animal, but she is scary as fuck. Aren't girls who are normally a little dumb friendly and innocent?
I've never seen her like this before. Girls are terrifying.
Haruka,
What is it?
even though you are his fake girlfriend, we are both female, and I kind of understand why you agreed to this. I can kind of guess you are doing this in the first place. I would be happy if you could tell me everything honestly.
She was implying that this was the final chance. If we tried to continue lying, I knew Natsume would try and get in our way no matter what. I guess I have to tell her everything.
Well,
Sorry, Natsume.
Oni-chan?
Fuyuki?
We are just pretending to be boyfriend and girlfriend, like you said. But that doesn't mean everything was a lie. I love you, Haruka.
What?
So, Haruka, Hanasaki, I'm sorry for all the unexpected events, but would you go out with me?
Are you okay with me?
I want to go out with you. I really enjoy being with you and feel comfortable with you. So I want to be with you.
Me too. I love you too. I was approaching you because I wanted you to fall in love with me.
I see. I'm sorry I didn't realize sooner. But then, would you go out with me?
Of course. I would love to go out with you.
So we ended up dating. Things didn't turn out the way we had planned at all, but we couldn't have hoped for more.
It seems like you have forgotten that I'm here, but I do not approve.
My cute little sister was covering her fury with a smile, but I won't worry about that for now. I think we can get along nicely together. I was full of hope and had no idea that my sister's love attacks were about to escalate to a whole new level. Who are you?
I'm Akino.
Which Akino?
Akino, your classmate.
I didn't think she would change this much. I knew she would change, but I was lost for words when I saw how beautiful she was. The word Max was shining on top of her head.
Hey, Miss Boring, get out of the way. We're filming a TikTok video, so don't get in the frame.
Everyone will think we traveled in time back decades if she's in the video.
That might go viral. Get out of the way.
Sorry.
Why does she let them boss her around? Momichi Akino, our classmate, was always made fun of by the popular group because of her shy personality and plain looks. Nobody wants to get involved, and she wouldn't talk to anybody, so she's always alone.
Why don't you go and buy us some tapioca rice balls, Miss Boring?
Mine too. Milk tea flavor. Okay, but I have a name called Momiji Akino.
I don't care. Just go and get it.
Tapioca rice ball is the most popular menu item at the school cafeteria. There's no way she could get it halfway past the lunch break. She came back empty-handed, just as I thought.
Sorry.
You're so useless.
She has nothing to apologize about. I was always just an observer. To be honest, I didn't want to get involved in all of that. My daily routine is to go to the riverside after school.
Meow.
There's a place where cats gather, and my hobby is to just observe them from a distance. Oh, they're just adorable.
Shiki?
Akino, why are you here?
I saw a baby kitten when I walked past here this morning. I wanted to know how it was doing, so I came to check. Did you come to see the cats too?
Well, yeah, something like that.
They're just so cute, aren't they? I would take them all home if my mom wasn't allergic to cats.
I didn't know Akino spoke so much. This might be the first time we speak properly.
The cat is running towards the road.
Shit! A truck is coming this way! But I think I can make it! I had completely forgotten.
Shiki!
I'm extremely slow at running. So bright. What happened to me? I remember I went to save the cat from the truck and... Did I get reincarnated into another world like they do in anime?
Oh, you're awake.
Hiya!
Oh, I'm still stuck in reality. It seems like I was at a hospital. I was able to dodge the truck and it didn't get hit, but Akino called the ambulance and I was carried to the hospital.
You don't have any wounds, but are you feeling okay? Can you see everything clearly?
Wow, she's a beautiful nurse. I wonder what that number on her head means. Maybe blood pressure? I think it was on my mother and sister's heads as well. How is that number being displayed?
Oh, are you going to stroke my head?
Why would I do that? I can clearly see the numbers, but I can't touch them. Am I hallucinating? I looked around and saw that there was a number on top of everyone's head. But my mom and sister didn't seem to notice it. So only I can see it. It seems like I've obtained a special ability.
Mom, it looks like he's trapped in his delusions.
That's nothing new. Hi, sorry to bother you. How are you feeling?
Akino.
Well, hello. I'm so sorry my clumsy son troubled you. I only called the ambulance. The cat was all right. You're a hero, Shiki.
I ended up like this, though. While we were chatting, my head was full of questions. There weren't any numbers on Akino's head, but it said Max. I stayed at the hospital that night, just in case. The next morning, the numbers were still there, but I couldn't see my own number in the mirror. What exactly are these figures? I observed the other students during lunchtime after going to school late. He's 43, he's 56, and he's 62. I wonder what the numbers are representing. Shiki, are you even listening? Sorry, what were you saying? I made a ranking of who's the cutest in this magazine. I bet it's humiliating to be ranked by people like us. I think she's number 1. No, it's definitely her. Her face scores like top tier. Face? Cute? Score? That's it! Right? She's number 1. Good-looking guys and cute girls tend to have bigger numbers, and people who aren't very good-looking tend to have smaller numbers. The numbers were the scores of how good-looking you are. God, what am I supposed to use this ability for? Wait. I looked at the corner of the classroom, and then she noticed me and looked back. It still said Max on the plain girl's head. Could it be that she's actually an incredibly beautiful girl? My beloved sister, what would you do if there was a very good-looking person, but they dressed so that they looked very plain?
I would transform them.
I knew she would say that. My younger sister is interested in becoming a hairdresser, so she studies fashion-related stuff by herself. Also, my mom used to be a hairdresser.
Why don't you bring that person over? Isn't it someone close to you? Well, I mean, it's obviously Akino, but...
How did she know? Was it that obvious?
I couldn't really see her face, but the outline of her face was very ideal, so maybe she is very pretty.
It's not a maybe. She's definitely cute. Okay, I'll invite her over as like a thank you thing.
Me? Going to your house?
Yeah, my mom and sister want to thank you for the other day.
You don't have to, you know?
I'm the one that will get beaten up if I don't bring you, so... Please? She seemed a little troubled, but she told me she was free today. Now that I think about it, I've never invited a girl over. I'm starting to get a little nervous. I'm home!
Hello.
Huh?
What is this?
We've been waiting for you!
What's going on? I couldn't hold my inner hairdresser spirit in, and so I borrowed some clothes from people I know.
First, we need to get you undressed.
Don't be so intimidating! She's scared! Look at her! She's like a baby deer! My sister told Akino that she wanted to practice her hairdressing on her.
If that's the case, I will be going home.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you.
No, it's just that I want to stay like this.
Does she mean that she's purposefully dressing to be plain?
Bro, get lost for 10 minutes.
Ouch. But I guess I'll do as she says. I think she's up to something. I went up to my room to read manga. It's already been 10 minutes, but I wonder if it's taking longer. 20 minutes? 30 minutes? An hour had passed. Maybe she went home. I got worried, and as I was about to leave my room... Whoa! Sorry, I didn't mean to... who are you?
Akino.
Which Akino?
Akino, your classmate.
I didn't think she would transform this much.
What do you think? Were you surprised?
Yeah, I, think you are very beautiful.
Thank you.
I didn't know she made that kind of face. I'm glad you're happy. Everyone from our class will be shocked if they see you like this. What's the matter?
I will go to school like how I usually dress.
Huh? Why?
Well, let's just say it's complicated. Is it time for you to go home? Do you want to get changed?
Yes. Would you teach me how to get makeup off too?
I couldn't digest what was going on, and Akino went back home in her usual form. I wonder if she didn't like it.
It looks like she has some issues.
Akino told my sister why she was like that all the time. It was because of her mother. Akino had been told from an early age to hide her face and wear clothes that weren't too fancy.
I think her and Mom just wants to protect her. She is a pretty girl, so she's worried that something might happen to her.
I see.
But I want her to be more fashionable. She looked really happy with how it turned out.
What? Why didn't you call me then? I'm guessing Akino wants to change. My sister and I also wanted to see Akino transformed again.
All right, let's do this.
The next day, my sister and I waited for Akino at the school gate.
What's the matter?
Sorry about my sister for making that evil smile. We have everything ready in an empty classroom, so if you don't want to be dragged there, follow us.
What?
Our plan was to transform her only at school, then her mom wouldn't know. You don't have to if you don't want to.
I would love to. I want to be cute like everyone else.
All right, leave it to me.
The moment Akino opened the classroom door, everyone froze.
Good morning.
That voice, are you?
I'm Momiji Akino.
What? She was that cute? All the girls look like potatoes compared to her!
You've got to be joking. Did you have plastic surgery?
No, I didn't.
Everyone is super surprised. Looking at everyone who treated her badly get lost for words was like watching a scene from a satisfying manga video. Even girls who score higher than 70 look mediocre compared to Akino. Sit down. The bell has already rung. Huh? Who are you? During class, everyone, even the teacher, would look at her surprised. And during lunch break, no one made her go and buy anything. But the transformation finished as school ended. Akino doesn't want to upset her mother. She decided to go back to her original form.
I'll make it back to normal then.
Okay, can I actually stay like this for 5 more minutes?
Of course. I'll just go and buy something to drink.
Just the two of us? I'm getting nervous. I need to say something. Huh? Why are you crying?
Sorry. Everything that happened today was like a dream. Thinking of waking up from that dream is...
She likes dressing like this.
It's funny, isn't it?
Not at all. You're beautiful, even when you cry. Huh?
Let me stay like this. I don't want you to see me crying.
You don't have to tell me. My body is already frozen.
I'm glad I met you, Shiki. I think this is how Cinderella felt.
Am I the fairy godmother then?
No, you're my prince.
Oh my god, no way! I don't think I am, but how wonderful it would be if I was her prince! I'm glad I wasn't facing her. I can't stop smiling. I wonder what kind of face Akino is making. I couldn't see it, but one thing was sure, it must be beautiful.
Ahem. Your drinks will go cold, so would you mind me interrupting?
Oh, no.
That was not for show!
I'm sorry for being an inconsiderate sister, but you should go home with Akino, otherwise your mom will start to worry.
That's true. Would you two come to my house with me? I want to tell Mom how I feel. I want you two by my side.
She finally chose to change for good! Of course. Akino's house was a traditional Japanese house. Her hands are shaking. Everything will be alright.
Yes, I believe my prince.
Her mom dropped to her knees as she saw Akino. I think she was shocked that her daughter disobeyed her. She was on the ground while we were panicking what to do.
This is holy!
Huh?
A goddess has appeared in front of me!
That's not the reaction we were expecting. In a nutshell, Akino's mother came to realize something. She knew that it was no longer possible to hide her daughter's beauty.
Let's go and buy some clothes. We'll get lots of makeup as well.
So, is this a happy ending? But we still hadn't reached the ending yet. Some more happy things happened.
Momiji, will you forgive us for what we've done? You might not think very good of me, but I want to be your friend. Not because you are good looking. I realize that I did horrible things to you. Of course. She's a goddess.
Okay, keep your cool.
I can't handle this any longer.
This is more than I thought. Akino now gets surrounded by classmates. She seemed a little awkward at first, but she seems happy. She's become something of an idol now. I did feel a little lonely at how people were asking her to hang out with them. I decided to go and see the cats by the riverside and enjoy myself.
Finally, I found you, Shiki.
Akino? I thought you were with your friends.
I want to be with my prince.
How is she so cute? Can you stop joking about me being a prince? It's a little too much for a guy like me.
I'm not joking. You are truly my prince.
Is it alright to believe those words? But I don't know what to say. I put my hand out. Akino held my hand with a smile. It disappeared.
What did?
Oh, nothing. After I held hands with Akino, I couldn't see the numbers anymore. I think it was a gift from God so that I could find her.
Shiki, I got tapioca rice balls. Let's share.
I want a bite too.
I bought another one in case you said that.
No. I want to share it with you, Momiji.
I am sharing it with Shiki.
Akino and I became a famous couple around school. If you could visualize love, we would probably be labeled Max.
It was May of my first year at high school. I love you, Riko! Please, go out with me! I, Haruki Ueda, confess my love to my childhood friend, Riko Enomoto.
Are you serious, Haruki? Do you really love me?
Yeah, ever since we were little.
Okay, I want you to know everything about me.
As she said that, she tucked out her shirt from her skirt and pulled it up slowly. Wait! Riko! What are you doing? We can do those kinds of things when I'm independent!
You love me, right? Then keep looking!
I mean, I want to see, but we're at school! Besides, are you okay with me looking?
I'm only showing it because it's you, Haruki. I'm only going to show it once, okay?
And then, Riko pulled her shirt all the way up. She is Enomoto Riko. She's the same age as me and goes to the same school as me. We're neighbors, so we always went to school together and played together. We were even at nursery together.
Would you marry me when we grow up?
Of course! Dad told me that I can get married once I take responsibility.
You're too serious.
Riko may have forgotten, but we promised that we would get married. In elementary school, we were really close. We kissed each other, pretending to be characters from TV dramas.
Haruki, would you marry me when we get older?
Of course! My dad told me that I can get married when I can work properly and feed my family.
You're way too serious.
Everyone knew about us. People sometimes even teased us. But as long as we're together, nothing else mattered. But after we got into junior high...
We aren't kids anymore. Let's forget about the promises we made as kids.
My dad told me that... Wait, what? Why so suddenly?
Isn't it embarrassing? I want to forget about those things.
The sweet times we'd spent together? and now turned into an embarrassing memory for her. We kinda drifted away and we didn't even go to school together anymore. Then, we went to the same high school. My feelings for Riko never changed. Riko, how have you been? Let's go home together.
Can you stop talking to me just because we used to be friends?
It seems like Riko didn't have feelings for me anymore. But even then, I still loved her. The distance between Riko and I seemed to be getting wider and wider, and I was starting to feel anxious. About a month had passed since we got into high school. Huh? Riko? I saw Riko walking to the back of school with Cowdake Senpai, a good-looking senior. So I quickly decided to follow them.
Why don't you go out with me, Riko? You're not going out with that Haruka guy, right?
Sorry, I'm not really interested in good-looking people. Also, Haruki is my childhood friend.
The reason why she rejected him was very unusual. But I'm so glad he was good-looking. Take that! But the anxiety inside me just exploded. Riko is cute. Really cute. You could say that she's cuteness itself. Lots of guys liked her from junior high, but no one would approach her because I was by her side. But we're drifting apart now that we're in high school. If any guy on the same level as me confesses their love to Riko, she may go and date that guy. This is not okay! So, I decided to tell her how I feel. Now that I think about it, I hadn't told her since elementary school, but she should have known my feelings. Even if she was a little thick-headed. I've always loved you, since we were kids!
Then I want you to know my everything.
Why is she taking her clothes off? Isn't that a little too soon? But she showed me something else. Riko, what is that scar? She showed me a big scar on her stomach. I didn't know about it.
I bet you thought that my body is creepy.
What?
You did, didn't you?
She ran away, and all I could do was just stand there, stunned. I went home that day and asked my mom about Riko's scar. Hey, Mom, do you know anything about Riko's scar on her stomach?
She told me to keep it a secret from you, but I guess I'll have to tell you if she's told you about it.
My mom looked surprised, and she was hesitant to talk about it. But she started talking, and I was shocked at what Riko was hiding from me. What? Riko was hit by a car, sometime between finishing elementary school and starting junior high. Fortunately, the injury wasn't too serious, and she was able to return home in about a week. But the accident left a scar on her that wouldn't heal for the rest of her life. She somehow made it for the junior high entrance ceremony, but the accident left a bigger scar psychologically than physically.
She didn't want you to know about the scar.
So that must be why she started being unfriendly to me. But why did she want to keep such an important thing a secret from me? It didn't feel right. I didn't get why she was trying to maintain distance from me.
Oh, really? How are you so insensitive?
What?
Well, why don't you ask her directly?
I thought about it the whole evening, and I decided to ask Riko. Riko? Why did you keep all those things like the accident and the scar a secret from me? Riko probably knew that I would ask her and sighed.
I thought that you wouldn't like me anymore if you found out about the scar.
My feelings won't change with just that.
What do you mean, just that? It really matters to girls. Or at least to me.
And then she told me everything. Like how she tried to hide it. Because she was scared that I wouldn't like her anymore if I found out. And that's why she pushed me away. Apparently, even if she had treatment at a hospital, it won't ever recover to normal. But one of my concerns flew away after hearing her talk. I took a deep breath and looked Riko in the eyes. I'm glad to hear that you weren't avoiding me because you didn't like me anymore.
Haruki, were you even listening to me? I did horrible things to you. I pushed you away because of my arrogance.
But, in other words, you like me, right? But it does hurt to think that you thought I would dislike you because of the scar.
Well, sorry.
I love you, regardless of whether or not you have a scar. My feelings won't change.
Haruki.
How about you, Riko? Do you love me?
Yeah, but...
As long as you love me, it's fine. I stroked Riko on her head. Tears were falling out of her eyes. I made my decision. If the scar really bothers you, I'll do something about it.
What are you going to do?
It may be impossible to heal it 100%, but I'm sure we can do something to make it less visible. I'll get money for the treatment, So I started working part-time. Of course, I also put effort into studying because I didn't want my parents or Rico to worry about me. The first month was extremely hard, but I started getting used to life with a job. During summer vacation, I worked almost full-time, 5 to 6 days a week. I also did short-term jobs simultaneously, so all I did during the summer was work. It was super tiring. Just then, Tomoe Nita, one of the people who I work with, came to talk to me.
Hey, Haruki, do you want to hang out sometime soon?
Nita-senpai has been nice to me since I started working. She's a very beautiful woman, and she's also kind. I was very happy that she'd asked me something like that. Sorry, Nita-senpai, but I really have to save up.
Why, though? Are you having financial problems?
Well, not exactly. There's this girl that I like.
What? You're working so you can buy stuff for that girl? Is this girl really worth it?
Oh, no, it's not like that. I told her the situation I was in, that there was this girl that I like, and I wanted to get her money for her treatment.
Wow, what you're doing is really admirable, Haruki.
Really? Well, I'm glad you think so.
But what if she refuses to go out with you?
Oh, well, I haven't really thought about that.
Don't worry, I'll be waiting as your second option, so let me know if you need me, okay?
Okay. I was happy, even though it was probably a joke. I could talk to Nita-senpai about my stuff and relieve stress so I could concentrate on my work. The summer had ended, and it was September. Rico, it's not much, but I want you to use this as part of the treatment fee.
Haruki, how much is this?
500,000 yen. I want to prepare more, but this was my limit with just 4 months. Rico suddenly pulled me over and hugged me. Oh, what's the matter, Rico?
I don't need that money.
What? You don't need it? But I saved up so much.
No, I am really happy that you did so much for me.
Then take it.
I can't take something so precious. Besides, I was really lonely because I couldn't see you.
Rico.
I want to spend more time with you rather than have money.
But then, what about the scar?
My parents said they will work something out for me.
I'm such an idiot. How did I not think about that in the first place? All the strength from my body suddenly vanished.
But I want to take care of it myself. Not relying on my parents, but like how you worked so hard for me.
It seems as though my efforts were not in vain, which was a relief.
I will get treatment someday. But would you go out with me, even if I still have a scar?
Of course! That was my plan all along!
Thanks, Haruki. I love you.
I love you too, Rico. It was my first kiss since elementary school. It was sweet and fragile. It felt like my heart was being filled with love. By the way...
What is it?
Why are you so concerned about that scar? You can't see it when you're close.
Well, I mean, if we start dating, there might be times where you might see it, so...
Huh? When?
Don't make me say it!
Why did she get mad at me? So, we started dating. And we would go to school together once again. We would hang out on weekends and study together before exams. Every day was filled with joy. I didn't work as much anymore, but I'm still working. I told Nita-senpai that we started dating.
Congratulations, I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
That smile is super annoying.
You should get a boyfriend too, senpai. After all, you are an attractive woman, so...
What did you say? You...
Wait, senpai! What are you doing jumping on me? I told you that I got a girlfriend! Like so, she mocks me, but she's also supportive.
He doesn't even know how I feel.
And today, Rico and I went on a date to an indoor swimming pool.
What do you think?
It's really, really cute!
I'm glad I bought them.
It hides her scar, so she should be able to have fun without any worries. So, was this the opportunity that you were talking about before?
Huh? Opportunity?
You said that you might show your skin to me, but the swimming suit hides the scar nicely. So, what other opportunities are there?
That's not what I meant. I said don't make me say it.
Hey, wait, Rico! What do you mean? It was later on that I understood what Rico was saying. But I guess I'll save that story for another time.
Here's your paper.
I, Riku Sahara, fell in love at this moment. The long, wavy hair, her clear, light brown eyes, and her fine nose. There isn't a person in this school that doesn't know her. Thanks. Oh no, my face is red. She picked up a pile of paper that I dropped on the floor right away. I could tell how beautiful she, Narumi Kamiya, was, because our faces were so close. No wonder everyone says that she is the most beautiful girl in the school. I couldn't take my eyes off of her.
This should be everything.
I like you, Narumi! Those words naturally fell out of my mouth after seeing her face. I didn't understand why I was saying this. We aren't even in the same class, and it was my first time talking to her today. I'm an introvert with no friends, and she's the popular girl at school. We are completely different.
That's really sweet, but sorry.
I guess that was a natural response. But I don't think anyone would accept a love confession from a person they have never talked to. And we're talking about Kamiya. There are tons of good-looking guys for her. Much better than introverts like me.
I'll be going now. Be careful not to drop your stuff next time.
The day I fell in love, I confessed my love to someone for the first time in my life. And got rejected for the first time in my life. Ah! I fell onto my sofa when I got home. I can't believe it. I didn't know that being rejected could hurt so badly. But if you think about it, there's no way I wouldn't have not got rejected. But still, even if that's the case, my heart is aching so badly. Do the people with boyfriends and girlfriends out there know how painful this is? If they do, they are warriors.
Oh, Oni-chan, you're home.
The living room door opened. The girl that walked through was a cute-looking girl who was wearing her school uniform in a rough manner. I'm home.
You look depressed more than usual, Oni-chan.
She's my little sister, Mikan. The difference between us, of how she's super cute and how I'm the biggest loser introvert, is one of the biggest family mysteries. I got rejected today.
And?
And? Her cold attitude makes me want to cry. Your brother just got rejected! But you just slapped me in the face with one word? It's like my heart was shattered into pieces and then shredded into nothing!
I've told you, you can stay by my side forever.
Isn't that called being a freeloader? How could I be dependent on my younger sister?
But it is rare that you, an introvert, would confess your love to any girl apart from me.
I've never even done it before. And don't make it sound like I've done it to you!
And? Who did you tell it to?
Kamiya. I told Mikan what happened today.
Wow, Oni-chan. You are one of a kind. I can't believe you confessed to someone you've never even spoken to. And to the famous beauty of the school, Kamiya?
You think so? My sister praised me for it. It was hurtful to get rejected, but the fact that I was brave enough to tell her that I love her must be something wonderful.
Introverts can be really dumb sometimes, can't they?
She was just making fun of me.
Here's the thing. You need to differentiate between being brave, doing something impossible, and being an asshole.
Hold on 1 second. I've never not been able to tell what an asshole is. I'm starting to think you don't like me. But she is currently lying on my lap, so what does that mean? But yeah, I guess it was something impossible like you say. I feel bad for Kamiya now. I think I'll give up on—
What are you talking about?
My chin! Mikan stood up suddenly, and her head hit my chin with extreme momentum.
It's too early to give up.
Can you worry about your brother before you tell me what to do?
Listen to me. Only introverts give up after just telling someone how they feel.
Well, I am an introvert, unlike you.
One rejection isn't the end of the world. You still have plenty of room for improvement. You will make an effort so that she will like you, and then you will confess your love again. It's not too late to give up after that.
Mikan, it was true that I told her my feelings without any effort of improving myself. If I make an effort so that she would like me, the results might— But I don't know what I should do to improve myself.
That's why I'm here, Oni-chan. I'm one of the popular kids at school, unlike you. I can teach you the ways of becoming the man that even Kamiya would fall in love with.
My sister's words sometimes really hurt my feelings. According to rumors, my sister was as popular as Kamiya at school. Master!
That's it! Now stroke my head.
Right away! So my sister was going to teach me how to improve myself. So what should I do?
I'll teach you later. You can just carry on with stroking my head for now.
Yes, master!
You are very good at this.
The day after I confessed? Mikan, what exactly are you?
Don't move, Oni-chan. It's looking good. Ah!
What's the matter? Your nose is bleeding.
I was right about you. You are the best, Oni-chan.
I didn't really know what she was saying, but I wanted her to wipe her nose. We haven't gone to school together for a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Isn't everyone looking this way? I felt the eyes of people every time I walked past someone. I usually don't get this much attention because I'm an introvert. I see. It's because I'm with you today.
Well, that might be part of the reason, but I think you are the center of attention right now.
Do I look that weird? I changed from glasses to contact lenses and had my hairstyle changed a bit, so I think it is different compared to usual. You didn't show me the mirror.
There's no need to.
She wouldn't show me what I look like.
Don't worry. You'll always be the brother that I love.
I have nothing apart from my sister's love that assures my appearance. I said bye to Mikan and headed to my classroom, feeling nervous. Everyone looked at me as I entered the room and froze. What the hell do I look like? Everyone's reaction made me even more worried. I need to go and talk to Kamiya. I put my bag on my desk in the classroom and then left, ignoring my classmates' eyes. Mikan told me that I should first of all go and talk to Kamiya. For an introvert, talking to someone whom you've never talked to is an extremely challenging thing to do. I hope I won't break down. I should first apologize about yesterday. Maybe my impression will change if I beg for forgiveness on the floor. She probably thinks that I'm a weird person because I told her I like her the first time we talked. As I was walking towards her classroom, she came out of the door at a perfect timing. Oh, Kamiya! I wanted to say thank you about yesterday.
Oh, you're the boy who dropped the pile of paper?
I was so happy that she remembered me. I'm Riku Sahara.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Things weren't going smoothly at all. Maybe I should beg for forgiveness after all.
I was surprised. You've changed quite a lot since yesterday.
Really? I didn't have a clue what I looked like apart from the fact that I wasn't wearing glasses anymore. I should have gone to the toilet to check before talking to her.
Yeah, I'm really surprised. You look cooler than you did yesterday.
Master Mikan! You were right!
What did I tell you? You made the correct decision leaving it to me.
You will be my master forever!
You can stay by my side forever and I'll feed you.
That's a completely different story, sister. I decided to leave everything to Mikan, now that Kamiya had a good impression of me. I'm so lucky to have an excellent sister who can teach me the ways of being attractive. Master, why do I have to read shoujo manga?
Shoujo manga consists of the inner desires that girls have. So if you study this and use the techniques, Kamiya will fall in love with you.
I'm a little skeptical.
Hurry up and finish it. Then you must learn the skill Kabedon.
You're telling me to do Kabedon on Kamiya? I'm very worried that she will think I'm a weirdo if I suddenly do Kabedon on her. If this helps get girls, the walls all around Japan would be full of holes.
Are you questioning my methods? You should just do as I say and I will assure you it will go well.
Yes, master! What's the matter, Mikan?
Nothing, Oni-chan.
And the following day, Hey, don't look away from me. I was doing Kabedon to Kamiya. I did it again. I called her out to the rooftop and did what the characters were doing in the shoujo manga. And then Kamiya blushed.
What is it, all of a sudden?
Of course. Naturally, anyone would be surprised if this happens to them out of nowhere. But her reaction? It's very similar to the reaction of the female character. Did I just succeed? Then I should ask her on a date. Just like Mikan told me what happened in the shoujo manga. Normally, I don't think anyone would go out on a date with me just because I did Kabedon on them. Hey, I was wondering if you could make time for me this Saturday. I want to go on a date with you.
Okay.
Why? Master Mikan, you are almighty! I bowed deeply with gratitude to my sister because I was able to ask Kamiya out on a date with a plan that I would have been too skeptical to bring into action without her support.
Are you kidding me?
Huh? What was that?
Nothing, Oni-chan. Now you should understand that my advice works. If you do as I say, you will be able to get Kamiya's heart.
Wow, Master. I thought you were tricking me at first. It turns out that you are a real master.
Then next, you must kiss her.
Master? No! That's way too soon!
You're naive, Oni-chan. Way too naive. When you are in love, you need to take the big steps and fly into the sky like Icarus.
Well, if my memory is correct, Icarus falls and hits the ground in the end.
No, Oni-chan. The fact that she accepted your offer is proof that she is starting to like you.
Huh? Is that true?
As you learned from Kabaden, girls like it when boys approach them and be a bit rough. She will fall in love with you if you go for the kiss.
I want to know whether that is morally acceptable, sister.
This should do it.
Mikan whispered something. I got shivers down my spine. I mean, the advice she had given me so far has had good results, so I guess it's worth trying. If she doesn't want to kiss me, then I'll apologize and beg for forgiveness on the floor before I get to her lips. Maybe I'll just give it a try.
Sarah! The day before the date with Sahara! I was screaming by myself in my room because Sahara is just too attractive recently! He wasn't anything like what he told me when he liked me the other day, but he looks so different. When he puts his glasses on, he's just the type I really like. As a shoujo manga lover, that Kabadan was just too good to be true. I know I am a simple girl, and I did turn him down once, but I think about him every day. What should I wear? I wonder if he likes cute clothes.
The day of the date had come. I hope my clothes were okay. I just bought what a mannequin was wearing. I did get it at a fashionable store, and Mikan also told me it looked good while having a nosebleed, so I think it will be okay. Well, at least I hope so.
Sorry for keeping you waiting.
I waited for a few minutes, and then Kamiya showed up. She was wearing cute clothes, and she had a bit of makeup on her already beautiful face, which made her even more beautiful than usual.
Shall we get going?
I couldn't take my eyes off her.
Are you all right, Sarah?
Sorry about that. It's just that you're a little too cute, so...
Huh?
I wonder if this phenomenon of nosebleeds is in our DNA. So, where shall we go then?
I'll leave it up to you.
Her tone of voice was high and a little awkward. Maybe she's nervous. She is friends with everyone, so I don't think she would get nervous going on a date with a guy. Who was it that was being self-conscious and thinking that she's nervous because she's on a date with me, and not some other guy? Oh wait, that was me! It's my first time here too, so let's go on things that we're interested in. I walked a little ahead of Kamiya with the same pace as her, and then she reached out and held my hand. It was so sudden that I couldn't help but blush. But it's alright. I'm not the same me that I used to be. Don't misunderstand this. This is probably because it would be problematic if we lose sight of each other. It's not because she wants to hold hands.
I wanted to hold your hand.
Kamiya? What would make her want to hold hands with me? Maybe she's starting to like me just like Mikan told me. But I have to respond in a cool manner all the time. The characters in the shoujo manga were all very cool and calm all the time. Right, Riku? I'm okay with it. That was so embarrassing. I started like crazy. After that, we did lots of things. A roller coaster. How frightening was that? I can't believe that there are human beings who think that this is entertaining.
Oh, that was so much fun.
It was really fun. It's really well made.
How are you not scared of this?
Don't worry, I'm good with this stuff. If anything happens to you, I'll protect you.
Protect?
Here you go.
Thanks. I'll pay for it.
I accidentally bought two, so don't worry about it.
You're too kind.
And when the sun was about to go down, we were on a Ferris wheel. Oh no, I don't have time left! I enjoyed the time I spent with her and fell in love even harder, so I was too occupied with her! Losing track of time is okay, but I don't know when I should kiss her! This is my final chance. I feel like it is the best opportunity as well, but I still don't know if kissing her out of the blue is an appropriate thing to do. The gentleman inside me was telling me about how morally inappropriate this was. turning me into a coward.
What's the matter, Sahara?
Oh, what the heck? If I back out now, I'll go back to the coward that I used to be. Trust Mikan with all your heart. I pushed myself in the back and... Kamiya?
Huh?
Tell me if you don't want to. I'll quit if she rejects me. According to Mikan, you can't refuse if you like someone. I can even hear my heart thumping.
Wait, Sarah.
And there goes my love. She said wait, so she didn't want to. So this is proof that she doesn't like me. Sorry, Mikan. I couldn't make it, even with your support.
Well, if you want to go further, I want you to be my boyfriend.
What?
So, I'm happy, and I'm fine with it. It's just that I want to do those kinds of things after we start dating.
Oh, okay.
Sahara, do you love me? I know I turned you down once, but...
I love you, Kamiya.
Really? I'm so happy.
So it's all thanks to you, Master, that I was able to start dating Kamiya. Oh, you are extraordinary, Mikan. At first I was like, there's no way I will be able to date her doing this. But your advice actually worked. She is an extraordinary sister. If I was on my own, I would have given up from the very beginning. I will thank her for the rest of my life.
This wasn't supposed to happen.
But Mikan didn't look happy, and her fist was shaking. And...
But you were supposed to be mine, Oni-chan.
I
was teaching you things that were unbelievable so that Kamiya would hate you. I was trying to destroy your love. Why did it all go so well?
How terrifying what my sister was thinking. No wonder I thought that there was no way it would work. But it is thanks to Mikan that I was able to date Kamiya. And I love my sister, even if she has a dark side to her. Don't worry. I will date Kamiya, but I am yours.
Really?
Yeah, I promise.
Will you stay with me forever?
That, again, is a completely different story.